guys, I want to talk real quick about some other objects that are found in our solar system besides the inner and outer planets. We did talk about the asteroid belt slightly, but some other objects would be like an asteroid, meteoroid, comets, and then dwarf planets, and then understanding the difference between a meteoroid, a meteor, and a meteorite. And there's a picture that you guys should have copied in class in your notebook that I think helps explain this pretty well, but I want to show you that again here real quick, and just let you know that you have your quiz coming up on Friday, and what you'll need to be able to do. Let me go to the standard real quick. The standard says right here. So it says compare and contrast the Earth, its moon, and other planets in the solar system, including comets and asteroids. So you need to be able to say how things are similar and then how they're different in relation to their size, so like how big they are. Okay, their surface features, just meaning like are they solid, are they rocky, are they gas, do they have the biggest volcano in the solar system, are they scarred with craters, those kinds of things, just different surface features. Are they super hot with a very thick atmosphere? Atmospheric characteristics, meaning it's like Uranus and Neptune come to mind. So they have this blue-green color because they have methane gas in their atmosphere. Saturn and Jupiter, they're the colors they are because they're mostly hydrogen and helium. And then the last part is the ability to support life. So the ability to support life, meaning are the conditions right that there can be life there, and as of right now, the only place in our solar system would be Earth. Okay, this graphic I think helps show the difference between some of these different objects that are in space. Okay, so this bottom part would be Earth, and we'll start in space actually. Okay, so these top three, they are found in space. A comet, the top one, think of it as a giant dirty snowball. So it's a collection of rock and ice and dust, and it's not packed real tight. They have these huge tails that are seen coming off the back of comets, and they're not on fire at all. So as they get closer to the sun with their orbit, these particles of rock and dust and ice, they break off, and so as they get closer to the sun, these particles have broken off of them, and the sunlight is reflecting off them. So they have these huge tails, but it's just these particles that have busted off, and now they're reflecting sunlight. Okay, asteroid is a huge space rock, and they're mostly found in that area between Mars and Jupiter, in the asteroid belt. And sometimes when they collide into each other, they can get knocked out of their orbit and potentially go towards Earth or other places in our solar system, but they're just giant space rock. Meteoroids is a smaller space rock, and if you notice, there's like a little chunk missing out of this one to that one. They're related. They're the same material, same stuff. It says that it's a space rock that's bigger than a dust grain, but smaller than an asteroid. So asteroids are bigger than meteoroids. So these are all in space. And then it goes to a meteor when that meteoroid, once it comes into our atmosphere, you're going to see it as this streak of light. And we call those falling stars or shooting stars. And that piece of rock is burning up in the layer of our atmosphere called the mesosphere. And it's kind of our defense mechanism against these chunks of space rock. If it doesn't entirely burn up and it makes it to Earth's surface, then it's considered a meteorite. As soon as it strikes the ground, then it's called a meteorite. And these can be various sizes, from small little pebbles, or they can be a little bit bigger too. It just depends on how much is left from when it is passing through our atmosphere and burning up like that. So the last one would be dwarf planets. Dwarf planets are smaller planetary objects. They're mostly found either in the asteroid belt or out past where Neptune is, like out past Pluto. They're smaller. They are solid, and some of them can have moons. Like Pluto has 2 moons of its own, but the reason that they're dwarf planets, 1, they're smaller in size, and then 2, they haven't cleared their orbit yet. So there's other things as they're going around the sun. There's other stuff in its orbit, and that's one of the main distinguishing factors as to why things are considered dwarf planets. So currently there are 5 dwarf planets, the biggest one being Eris, the smallest one being Ceres. Ceres is found in the asteroid belt. It's actually the biggest thing in the asteroid belt, but they're constantly finding new things that might fit this classification of being a dwarf planet. So your quiz is Friday. Make sure that you are looking over your facts, looking over the difference between inner planets, outer planets, and then being able to compare their atmospheres, what they're made up of, any other key features, their sizes. So just keep reviewing that stuff, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. See ya.